Go Eagles and Commanders for the right to go to the Super Bowl, and it was Jaden, and it was Jalen, and it was Saquon, and at stake was a ticket to Super Bowl 59. So it starts Washington as this long, drawn-out sequence. They kick a field goal. Eagles get it, and this, Dan, is their first play from scrimmage.
Yeah, some show last week might have said, hey, you got to run the ball on the perimeter against Washington's defense. Really good check at the line of scrimmage. Great block by A.J. Brown. Terrible tackling out on the in space by Washington. That place must have been an absolute electric factory after that.
And then, RC, the critical mistakes for Washington begin.
Zach Bond has been Johnny on the spot the entire season and all pro season. He punches the football out. Reed Blankenship with the scoop.
Hey, D. Wood, who are you going to give it to down by the goal line?
Saquon Barkley, man. Again, another perimeter run play. Goes in for the touchdown.
14-3 Eagles. After a gutsy fake punt, the Commanders are kind of hanging around. It's 14-6. They're in the game. Here comes Terry McLaurin, and there he goes.
Yeah, you get outside leverage by Darius Slay. One-step slant, balls put right on his chest. Scary Terry with the runaway.
So now, go back the other way. This is very much a game. 4th and 5. Eagles going for it, and RC A.J. Brown.
This is beautiful. It's man-to-man on the outside, bump and run. He sees single high. Great throw by Jalen Hurts. Powerful at the line. Huge catch, and then they get the quarterback sneak into the end zone.
The tush push, Eagles up 20-12. Now, Eagles kicking off after the touchdown, and once again, disaster strike.
Something Washington's done so well this season, value the ball, helmet right on the football, and this is where you sit there and go, this game could get out of hand very quickly if Philadelphia scores.
Well, how many different ways can you give a game away than the Commanders did? Eagles score 27-15 at halftime. Washington now within 11 points. They still have a chance, and then one more critical mistake, this time Eckler.
But this is huge, though. This is Oren Burks, right? He's replacing the Kobe Dean. Eckler's trying to get off the ground. The intentional peanut punch, and it's just another scoop by the Philadelphia Eagles.
And so back we go the other way, and here comes Barkley, and he almost breaks it again.
Yeah, great back scores.
And then
I think you're about to say that.
How we coaching Frankie Louver here down by the goal line?
That's exactly how you're coaching him. Go over the top. You want to time it. That's because you have no chance.
You ain't gonna stop it anyway.
So you got to take your shot.
Yeah, and they actually, the referees threatened to award the Eagles a touchdown.
Which, by the way, I never knew.
I will confess, I had never heard that.
Yeah.
I'm watching the sport 50 years.
100 years.
I had never heard that. Finally, Hurts takes it in, and that was all she wrote. Pour the Gatorade on the coach and get the plane ready for New Orleans. On we go. Jaden Daniels will have his day, but this wasn't it. The Eagles are going back to the Super Bowl. The celebration is on for all of them. Here's Saquon.
I ain't gonna lie, I tried to downplay it in my head, but it's amazing, man. It's amazing. We're here, Super Bowl. But the goal wasn't just getting there, the goal is to win. And we're gonna celebrate, enjoy this, and get right back to work.
Yeah, I mean, it was just another game for me. That's how I treat it. That's how I treat every game. You got to go out there and earn it. You got to prove it. And, tonight we didn't earn it.
Okay, so we'll talk about Jaden as we go because he's unbelievable. What did you just say about Saquon while we were listening to that? The two things you're not supposed to be.
You're not supposed to be that talented and that good of a human being.
I know.
Like the good guys aren't as good, or the super talented are a little bit of a...
So, why on earth the Giants would have wanted to keep him, I have no idea. Look, this is what's going to wind up happening. John Marin not sleeping so well right now, all right? Because the bottom line of it is we have to start having a conversation about the greatest free agent signings ever. You got Peyton Manning in Denver. Yeah. You got Tom Brady in Tampa Bay. You got Reggie White once upon a time in Green Bay. Saquon Barkley goes right there. There is no way this team sniffs the Super Bowl without Saquon.
Absolutely not. And I can be honest, it was an underappreciated move for me. I always felt like the Philadelphia Eagles had a really good run game, whether it was Miles Sanders or DeAndre Swift. I truly didn't understand how Saquon Barkley could elevate it to this point. He's a transcendent talent, and I believe I knew that when he was drafted 2nd overall, but that's how bad the Giants organization was. That this dude, this sort of human, this sort of leader, this sort of teammate couldn't elevate the play of the people there. What he's done in Philadelphia for a running back, he's shown that when you have a difference maker at that position, it can carry you to a Super Bowl.
Well, I think for me, one, you have to credit Nick Sirianni. I don't know if we've seen a coach grow and develop throughout a season the way that he has this year. Really since the beginning of October, he has been fantastic with the way that he's gone about his business. Two, Jalen Hurts told a lot of people, myself included, shut up, I'm good enough. He had not thrown the football well over the past couple weeks. He was fantastic yesterday. The ball came out on time. They ate in those one-on-one situations. The space that they ate up with A.J. Brown. And the last thing is this. This defense is the closest thing to the Legion of Boom that we've had since the Legion of Boom. And I say that with all due respect. They're not overly complicated. They don't try to confuse you. They line up. They're very simple. And they go, we're going to play with better leverage. We're going to play more violent. We're going to run to the football more. And we're going to tackle better. Like, RC, you got to love this clip. Watch the bottom of the screen, okay? Perimeter screens, huge part of what Washington does. Watch how in sync this defense is. Look at how those three guys trigger at the same time with the same foot. DeJean, contact. Slay, outside. Baun, inside out. Like, that's not an outstanding X's and O's thing. That's the simplicity of it. I have said all season long, count the number of jerseys that get to the football for the Philadelphia Eagles defense. Tell me somebody on the field runs faster to the ball than Zach Baun here. Bottom of your screen. Slip perimeter screen once again. Watch him run to the ball, and then when the tackle's made, he punches it. Peanut Tillman, count the jerseys in green. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 3 in white. That's the difference.
Bottom line, though, that's the biggest thing Vic Fangio brought to the Philadelphia Eagles. Last year, they were lazy, they weren't physical, and they did not pursue the football in that manner.
Yeah, that's not 100% RC, because last year, they still were the most talented team, but they were horrible. They were horrendous. And it's
effort
all the
and
things.
tackling.
Effort, tackling, fundamentals and technique, and playing the team game. What happens is you got a real football coach here.
Yes.
This is a veteran coach, one of the best guys in there. They force turnovers. They do all of it. You think, what happens? No, there's fundamental periods where you teach takeaways. The great coaches will have takeaway circuits. One day you recover them. The next day you're forcing them. So he teaches it, and it's not just lip service. And he's multiple in his coverage things. Yeah, absolutely. And that's what you swarm. You get all 11. There's a thing we used to say, 11 something swinging, whatever. Run into the football.
He wanted to say it, then he realized I'm on TV.
That's what they have.
In the break, you're going to tell me what it is. All right, the early game yesterday, NFC. We'll show you the pictures here in case you've missed it. The Commanders get the ball first. They have it for like 8 minutes. They kick a field goal. They kick it back to the Eagles. And this is Philly's first play.
60 to the house. Great block by A.J. Brown. Great block by Jordan Mailata. Horrific tackling by the Washington defense. This place had to be an absolute electric factory when this happened.
Meanwhile, the storyline of the game were the mistakes, the turnovers, RC, by the Commanders.
Too many turnovers. When your roster isn't as good as the other team, you can't turn the football over, give them extra opportunities. But Zach Baun made this play happen. It wasn't just on De'Ami Brown.
It sets up another Saquon Barkley touchdown to the Eagles, up 14-3.
Too good.
2 minutes to play in the half now. The Commanders down by 8. They're getting a kickoff here and another. Rex, they just handing them all these opportunities.
That's it. But that's what happens. And turnovers are so critical, especially in the playoffs. It's crazy.
And that would lead. Remember, we were talking about A.J. Brown. Was he going to get involved?
Great throw by Jalen, just playing on time. That's perfectly out in front versus man coverage.
Third quarter, D. Wood, one more huge mistake for the Commanders. This time, Austin Eckler.
Oh my God, man! Listen.
Look at
those things aren't just happen. Those things are you do them repetitively in practice.
Tush push, gotten ahead of Frankie Louvu. Quite literally. It's a couple. That's not the same play.
I played with Troy. It's just part of the Polynesian culture.
Yeah.
That's all that is.
He did it twice. The referees actually announced that they could award a touchdown.
Greedy. I've coached for 100 years. I had no idea that was a rule.
They would figure out a 4th and 1, but we can score.
There was no score anyway. I'd have just kept jumping. No time come off the clock.
Right.
Eagles going. Yeah. Who gets credit for that?
On their way to the Super Bowl. So and it would look. The Commanders had an unbelievable year. Jaden Daniels incredible. There'll be better days for him. This was a day that belonged to the Eagles. And how would you like to have been in the offices of the Giants yesterday, saying, "But look, it says on this piece of paper, don't pay a running running back, that much money. It doesn't matter. You can't. I mean, like after what Derrick Henry did this year and Josh Jacobs did this year, but now here's Saquon Barkley, who in the Super Bowl will, unless he doesn't run for 40-something yards, which is what he is short of it, he will wind up with more rushing yards than any player ever had in any season in football history, completely dominated this postseason, and is the biggest reason this Eagles team is in the Super Bowl.
Absolutely, but I want to give Giants fans this reprieve. Saquon Barkley would not have been this good in New York.
Yeah.
Greeny, we talked about it in the first hour, and Woody said it's about the people that are up front. What happens with the Philadelphia Eagles is because of their quarterback, because of their offensive line, and the way this run game works, it gets Saquon Barkley to the second level. And I don't care what running back you like in the league, Josh Jacobs, Derrick Henry, none of them are as talented as this dude. They don't have that type of acceleration. They don't have that type of side-to-side movement and lateral movement that Saquon Barkley has, and they don't have the home run speed. Bottom line, it wasn't Dion, it wasn't Peyton Manning, it hasn't been Reggie White. He's the biggest offseason move that's ever been made.
And add to this, he's the glue guy. I mean, that's the other part of it. That you don't think the Giants missed him in their locker room?
Did you see when Will Shipley scored?
He was
Saquon Barkley
again.
Put his helmet on and run on the field for the rook.
The offensive line makes the back. The back doesn't make the offensive line. It's another example of that. Him with an offensive line has become an unstoppable unit.
But you said it earlier, when your best player is also your best guy, your best team guy.
Rare.
This was an organization, this was a football team, Rex, that at the end of the last season gave up. They stopped pulling on the rope. Something terrible was going on, and the entire culture changed over the offseason. And I'm not saying Saquon Barkley is the sole reason, but he has to be part of the reason, right? I think that he made a difference in every way you can to an organization.
Yeah, absolutely. The two main differences, what I saw, right? Saquon Barkley, without question, all right? An amazing player, best player on your football team, best guy in your locker room and all that. Vic Fangio. When they brought Vic, look, they lost
another Howie Roseman move.
All the defensive coordinator that they had the last, they bring in some dude that never did it, and guess what? He was awful, had no response. They bring in this old guy. They bring in the old guy. Oh, he must have lost it. The hell he doesn't. You know what it did? Accountability. He put in there, and you know what? We're going to run to the balls. Nobody plays with better fundamentals and technique than the Philadelphia Eagles, and the effort is crazy. Why? 11 guys going to the football, all right? Every single snap. Pursuit drill. That's every single play in practice. Trust me, this is a real football coach, and he's made a huge difference.
Yeah.
A huge difference.
How's it going, everybody? Villa Sports Network here. Just wanted to thank you guys for your support on the channel. Thank you guys for watching the video. Hope you all enjoyed it. I also want to kind of remind you to don't forget to leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment on the video if you like as well. But regardless of the fact, thank you again for your support, and hope to see you on the next video.